and other parties of interest. This is the evaluation committee meeting for RFP-25-00221, disaster debris management services. My name is Ethan Kersey, and I'm the senior buyer assigned to this project. This meeting is being held in part by means of communications and media technology and has been publicly noticed. Active participation will be for committee members only. Provisions have been made for any member of the public designed to have access to view the meeting. The recording will also be available after the meeting is ended. If you're watching online, please ensure you keep your camera off at all times. And if you're present here with us in person, please refrain from comments or questions. Please also be advised that the cone of silence is still in effect. All meetings and correspondence must include me. Again, for the record, this meeting has been publicly noted. At this time, I'll ask each committee member to introduce themselves.
I'm Kim.
Hey, Ethan, it's Janet.
Hey, Janet, what's up?
Good. I can hear you and see you guys. Looks great.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Damien Trammell, the Solids Management Department Director for Hillsborough County.
Rob Tavares, Hillsborough County Emergency Management.
Robert C. Hillsborough County Public Works Transportation Maintenance Commission Director. Josh Ferrari, Public Works Engineering and Operations Director.
Also, sir, non-voting.
I'm Super Chief Human Operations Coordinator.
Fantastic. And our two members of the public here with us today.
Do you make much of an outbreak?
And I'm John Burrows with MW College.
Thank you. Appreciate it. On June 13th, 2025, we received a total of 13 proposals in response to RFP-25-00221. However, the proposal received from Popular Trucking LLC was deemed unacceptable and not scored. The evaluation committee will evaluate, discuss, and score by consensus the remaining 12 proposals. Each proposal is to be evaluated based on the information provided in the proposal as it correlates to the requirements and evaluation criteria set forth in the solicitation. The county also reserves the right to consider previous experience working directly with the proposer in its evaluation. The evaluation committee chair, Ken Meyer, will lead the discussion for the score. After each criteria is discussed, please state consensus scoring agreed upon by each committee member so that I may report it in the spreadsheet. After the conclusion of the scoring, I will verify the scores with the committee, announce the points for evaluation criteria number 4, total/cost total, and DM/DWD points. With that, Kim, I'll turn it over to you to begin discussion for our first firm.
So our first scoring will be the qualifications of firm and professional personnel, and we'll start with CP Danner. I found the CP Danner really had no experience. Their first one had no experience. Pretty collection. They provide a organizational chart at the time, so I gave them 5.
I gave them a 7 for a lot of the same reasons. I felt it was very lacking. I have it down for 10. Again, same thing. I don't think I rated them as well. I had some level of experience. Appropriate level.
And for myself, rated them a 10 as well. Didn't really provide sufficient documentation for
Also found that the experience with lagging really did demonstrate that they had the capabilities of providing the services that's a lot of them. But I gave them a 3.
So the consensus with 7, 10. What about? What was it? It was, sorry,
5, 7,
5,
7, 3.
10, 10, 3.
That's not a mistake. Just comment.
Yeah, that's what my thought was.
Why you just want to see where it's right?
So
The average is 7.
yeah, I would say 7 to 10. I can go as high as 8.
I think that would be more fair, I mean, just from my perception of reading it. Maybe that's something they have in. 8 does take you into the second, the lowest technically level,
Yeah.
the scoring chart, which is, that, but I'm okay either way.
I mean, I think they didn't respond to all of the questions. They didn't provide or chart or a lot of the things that were part of the ask for, but they did provide some level of experience with their AIE. Anyway, if you guys start thinking 8, I'm up with that.
I vote 8.
8.
8
Or criteria one for CP dinner?
Yes.
Just move on to criteria two for CP dinner.
Oh, go get started.
Yeah.
Criteria two for CP dinner, I have to say I give them a 0 because I didn't see them submit any information on past projects. So it's what of.
I have it for a 0 as well. I cannot locate the firm's experience with projects with similar type and type, which is like for description and their proposal. So 0 from me.
Yeah, you get a out of one.
Yes, you have to the same way, they failed to respond to that section, so we have to go through.
I also did the 0 again. Four. So the consensus, is there any frame 0 on that?
0 for criteria two.
You know, criteria 3, firm's technical approach to meet schedule and cost effectiveness. And that's part of this.
I thought it was not very sufficient. And I have them down for a 12.
I have them down as a 13. We did understand that, have a good understanding of the scope and schedule. But that on a few other things.
I saw the correct interested approach, schedule more cost effectiveness, but it is not part two.
Thought the same thing. I didn't see any question scope really at all. With everything, because I gave them a 1.
And I actually gave them a 0 on this.
I'm not flexible.
I'm flexible. I address any of those things. I mean, I'm flexible, obviously. as
Yeah,
well.
and just for some context, in my opinion, this was a difficult one on all of us.
Yeah.
So I think I rated higher just because in my opinion, a lot of them didn't really fully address what we were asking. So I'm flexible if it's that severe because I didn't see any specific. The ones I did rate higher have specifics. So I'm okay if we're gonna go a little more restrictive.
Probably what you scored.
I scored a 13.
So on the scoring, just to go back to the criteria, it says the 0 to 4 doesn't address either the schedule or cost. 5 to 8 shows an inadequate understanding of scope, schedule, and cost.
You said it every one.
But that's 5 to 8, so they can just to maybe give us a range to decide.
5. I'm okay with 5.
Okay, 5 some.
I'd agree with 5.
So for dinner, CP dinner, we have 8 for A1, which is qualifications and growth. 0 for first experience with projects of similar size. And for A3, firm's technical approach to meet schedule and cost effectiveness. 5.
Correct. I will do all the subtotals at the end, so you'll go into your second.
Next is stairs, environmental services, and we'll start with Robert. And you can tell us how you score qualifications of firms and its personal, professional personnel. So that's, yeah. There we go.
I thought the Sarah's team, showed, some adequate level of experience, necessary for the degree. So I scored them, 25.
If the firm has exceptional experience and really perform a certain aspect of proposal, found them to be very qualified at all levels of the organization. Indicated that they were to FEMA funding is actually public projects across the states, or the state borders, Sarasota, Florida. It's also a benefit for the county. I'm provided a list of resources that's sufficient for this one. That's what I gave the school.
I also thought the project team was exceptional. They showed an exceptional level of experience. I believe they were uniquely qualified. I think the proposed project manager was uniquely qualified because they had experience here in Hillsborough County. So I would give them a 25.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 32.
Okay. I mean, I had very similar thoughts. I thought they were extremely strong on qualifications. He's been around a while, a lot of experience with their key staff. So I actually gave him 35.
I have them down for 30. In the proposal, they identified the project manager specifically, and I think they were exceptional in the level of experience and equality.
Probably 10 for 29.
25.
Okay, so we have 30, 32, 35, 30, 25.
I'm okay with going up. I thought it would be exception. I think 30 is okay. That was fine. 30, okay.
So some of it will be pretty safe.
Think about what the 32 was.
I can go there. I have them at 30.
32.
Sounds good.
32% for,
Second is A2, firms experience with projects of similar size and type.
Again, the firm presented 3 similar projects, each supported by letters of recommendation. Projects completed within the last 5 years, demonstrating some closer aligning with the RFP. Additionally, the firm outlined its strategy, management type roads, high traffic intersections, as well as the presence of protected wildlife with the cleanup process. Demonstrated expertise in handling disasters. Very strong area. More this comes in as a result, I assigned 27 out of 30.
I also feel like they had excellent experience with similar size projects. I think they also had recent experience with Hillsborough County with Hilton, so I gave them 20.
Yeah, I thought they had great examples, again, previous size projects here in Florida and other places, as well as the experience that we had with them last year in Hillsborough County. So,
I only echo that. I actually gave them a 29. One because of their experience.
I gave them a 29 as well, showing their experience in not only the state of Florida, but other states as well, and handle a large scale delivery operations.
So we have a 27, 29, 30, a 29, and 29.
29. Yeah.
29, everyone?
Okay, so next is criteria 3, firms technical approach to meet scheduling and cost effectiveness. Again, I think they showed a good understanding of project approach. They had a good understanding of what we needed in regards to a contractor. However, I didn't see them addressing any real improvements or cost savings. So I gave them 17.
I thought they did have a strong approach. The location in Sarasota is a plus. They did have a large inventory of equipment. I thought on their approach, it was good that they addressed not only response, but the proactive, planning ahead of time. So I gave it an 18.
Sorry, appreciate three. I have them down for 18. Without anything, any notation, quite frankly. That I would suggest either signal does demonstrate a superior understanding of social scope strategy on cost. Well, not cost, scope and strategy. They did mention cost effectiveness and they acknowledged it, yeah, double the date. So I haven't done for any.
I have 18 as well, for their, pre-planning and their, willingness to mobilize the county and resources.
Okay, I thought for administrative, they're not the approach, but it was not strategy schedule. Also, this, there's phases, actually, I gave it a 16.
I have 17, 18, 18, 18, and 16. So we're either 17 or 18.
Fine, fighter.
Okay,
18.
18.
18 agreed upon for series criteria.
Yes. So for series, you have 32 for A1, 29 for A2, and 18 for A3.
Great.
Next, we'll be looking at ERC, Emergency Services LLC, and we'll start with the qualifications of the firms and its professional personnel. And I'll start with Josh.
My notes here were that they were very strong. So, like the prior, they had strong experience and great thing, 30.
I think I'm at 29. I think we have. Such a lot of experience in qualifications for integrated prices.
I have, 33. Based on, examples of good shown for their experience.
But the firm has experience, this being to soliciting as a proposal. So we had the last couple of years, and I gave them a score of 22.
I also checked that they had extensive history of debris collection contracts. They showed great knowledge of projects, other projects on their side and scale. But I didn't think that their project manager was uniquely qualified for Hillsborough County project. So I gave them one. So we have a 35, a 29, a 33, a 22, and a 25. And all of the folks here in between.
I think I'll follow them 49 to 35.
There was 122.
Yeah, 22.
Oh, thank you, Frank. I'm sorry. I wrote down 32.
I'm willing to, work.
So we have two 29s and 35 and 33.
You think they're in that top tier, category at least? Between 49, 35?
Yeah.
That's why I gave them 29 because I think they fall as a minimum of the top tier.
Okay. I think.
Yeah.
Is it 29?
Robert, you okay with this?
29 for DRC criteria.
Next is firm's experience with projects of similar size and height.
Yes. So evaluation criteria number 2 for ERC, I awarded them 28 points based upon the fact that what they listed for the similar size and type are DOT jobs with the Georgia DOT, as well as experience in their building, PM, and other meetings. So all three that are within the outlet and debris management, as well as DOT experience on, albeit not from Florida. I wanted them at 20, which is the lowest of the highest criteria. Superior capacity, successful experience. Projects.
I scored a 29 for similar reasons. And providing examples of full-scale debris operations, including the various hurricanes.
20,
Yes. Or no, I'm sorry, 29.
Right, 3 projects, quite frankly, the project work which we had last year's and service provided similar scope. Yeah.
I thought they had a superior, past history of successful, contracts, some of the size in Hillsborough County. I gave them a 29.
Okay, and I gave them a 30. I also thought they had a superior past experience. All of the projects they listed were similar in scope and size to ours, not directly with the first one, but they're locally for that as well as supposed to be a few, so yeah, I gave them a 30.
So we have 28, 29, 22, 29. So we went from a 28 to a 30.
I started it, and I started to say, I'm like, what? They're making a spirit of top. You gave him the top, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I did do 28. And we did 29 for the last proposal. So,
Yeah, and you just want, again, my logical reasoning is the proposals had the same, but greater quantities of it.
yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons there we end up with. Sure.
I'm ready to 20 year old.
Yeah, I would agree to 28.
Next is your firm's technical approach to the schedule, cost effectiveness. Yes.
So for criteria 3, I scored an 18. I thought they were well structured in their willingness to demonstrate cost efficiency, or right sizing. And taking detail for the task assignments.
Right, the firm showed an understanding of the approach, well-defined strategy and schedule, and into their phases of process, methods, demonstrating their ability to address challenges, creating difficulties.
I thought they showed a good understanding of the project scope. I think it was impressive. They identified some cost savings and some improvements with the same separation of innovation side.
Okay, I also thought it was a good proposal in terms of the technical approach. I gave them a 17. I thought they didn't quite address the proactive part of the side yet as much as maybe it's pretty proposal. But you know, it's still 17.
I think I'm 18 because they did provide some specifics. That's the primary. The technical approach to provide.
As applicable to, I wasn't sure how applicable that would be to our specific.
Well, I thought the same thing, but we do have some same areas, right? So that would probably be some of the other.
I kind of wasn't looking at some applicability, but the fact that they all size and something, and then this is specific.
Yeah, Those fairly straightforward.
I mean, shows variability outside.
Right, and not, again, comparing other proposals, like the knowledge of this, that are so specific.
So we have an 18, 13, 19, 17. And 17 to 20 is range for the house.
Yeah, no, I think it should be in that range. Yeah. I mean,
I think we average about 18 looking at it, beginning at 18 and 13 and 19, 17.
Okay, so
So we have the DRC at 29 for A1, A2 to 28, A3 to next to that.
Okay, sorry, all right. So we are going qualifications of our is SC personnel. Firm has over 30 years of experience responding to declarations. The firm responds to 110 federal declared disasters operating across 36 states. They have total of more than 185 duties, draws, three, as well as hurricane, tornado, floods, ice storm, etc. Their extensive experience was documented at all organizational levels, each of well deserved score.
I thought that the project team was excellent. I thought that they showed really great experience. They have more than almost 10 years experience with Hillsborough County. The project manager is uniquely qualified. Same project manager for community building. I gave them a 34.
And yeah, I agree with all the previous comments. I think they have top-notch qualifications and a long history and experience with the county. So I give it 35.
I gave them a 30. They agreed that they have a exceptional level of experience and that PM is uniquely qualified for Hillsborough County.
I scored them at 33. I thought that they showed superior professional resources. In-house subject matter experts was important. And I believe that overall, the team is well prepared and highly experienced.
Pretty, yeah, I don't want to go up. I actually, I just think they definitely want the highest qualification.
And I did 35. So we have a 34, 30, 35, 33.
People on the highest grade 33 and 34. We go down for each. 34.
34 sounds good.
34 for Ashford, for 31.
Yeah. The criteria 2 is firms experience with projects of similar size. Start with identifying that superior past and recent experience with projects of similar size. Again, lots of experience with Hillsborough County and Florida in general. So I agree with them. First,
I also gave them 30. A lot of their experience.
I have them for 29, same reason, those programming direct experience, but her means they do all. Great during the last. By them for.
And I had them for down for 30 as well, but it's same reasons before.
Several comments I have, studied well. The projects we have gained all the letters of support.
and then 30, 430s and 29.
I'm very watchable.
But this is 30 for firm's experience.
32 projects.
The firm's technical approach to the schedule and cost effectiveness.
I thought this was very good. It addresses advanced coordination, communication, that's that approach. So I gave them a 18.
I gave them a 19. They did a very well, a really very well understanding of the requirements as well as of the cost effective of city, providing specific examples of the helicopter to be low personnel. So I appreciate for myself, specific examples of those. And given
I give them a 19 as well. Their capability to deploy helicopters that was mentioned before and their drone capability as well.
All comments, we live on Gideon Street, our understanding about the strategy, schedule. Also offer the ability to expose those things to be released outside the county. Very good point. I think it's gonna be in the school at 60.
I thought, they showed a really good understanding of the scope and schedule. All the other innovations, like the helicopter, I thought were very good too. And we were a good approach, and I gave them 19. So we have 18, 3 19s, and a 16.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone agrees to 19?
Yes, sir. So we have, 81, 34 for Ashbridge, 30, 82, and 19 for Acre. Then we have Southern Disaster Recovery. We talked about first A1 qualifications of firms, professional.
Yeah, me, okay, so I gave them a 30, which I know it's in the top tier, but it was lower than I knew some of the other, firms, just because I thought, all of their experience that they listed, their staff was mostly up north, Carolina, up north, so I wasn't sure how well they would know the Florida, Hillsborough area, or local sub, historical values, all that kind of stuff, so, but my score was a 30.
I have them down for 29. I think I have in my notes that they had quite a funding plan that they qualified, could qualify. Fortunately, I didn't have to take further, so I made a partner committee that I gave them 29.
I give them a 32.
Also, or 30.
32.
Good question.
I thought their pre-qualification that they shared were on par with the criteria one. And their leadership was had various levels of experience with disaster recovery.
Firm has 20 years experience, they appear to be able to perform the services. That they had an experience in all of the building conditions. Gave them 22.
I thought the project team and personnel had, an average level of experience. The project manager was qualified, so I gave them 28. We have a 28, a 30, a 29, a 32.
Is 29 the bottom of that?
No, 28. The scoring range is 28 to 30.
Oh, no,
I think so. 29 to 40.
29.
Okay. The guy gave them
You did it.
30, but it's trending lower. I would go 29 and that close.
I'm in 30, 28. I have 28.
Yeah, and I'm more comfortable with 29 because I have 15-year project manager today and project presentation. It was quicker at this and I didn't make note of why. For whatever reason, I have them in the lowest point
Cycle the highest criteria.
And I had it at the highest of the second year, which is 28. So I really looked for it.
I'm good with that. That's the right idea.
29 or something like that.
Yes.
Next is the firm's experience with projects of similar size.
Okay, for SCRA, assignment appointed by the 28. Consider projects that they listed, the 3 projects they listed were all similar value and actually they keep regards to that size, responses that he required. They were not all in Hillsborough County, so I didn't say it for. So I gave them a 28. Criteria.
I give them a 27, for some of the reasons, like, I think the work or that they provided somewhere in nature with, looks like a 20 activation in Georgia.
Gave number 22. Oh, they provide 3 single projects. Okay. Based on my evaluation of.
I also gave them a 22. I thought that the experience was not quite similar, another storm, and the other was private property. So I guess that was similar. We don't know that, they have one right away, very different from private property, so I gave them a 22.
I gave him a 27, which was a little bit lower than the scores. I have enough criteria because some of the other things that you guys have brought up, the size and height of their previous experience, plus the only project that they listed in the state of Florida actually looked like it was a much smaller scale. Yeah, it's another. So, yeah, that's why I think I'm a little bit.
So we have a 28, 27, 22, 22, and 27. And the second highest tier is 22 to 27.
I think both of that, they're probably, mine was be somewhere, like mine was based on my idea. Our amount of yards, but very similar. I didn't count for the public record. Yeah. So I think that's the valid criteria that I guess.
So we have 28, which is about 27, 22, 22, 27.
Okay. About 23.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
25.
I'm okay with 25. I think 25.
I'm perfect with that. Like we said, I never looked at the public record. I just said it was conservative to be better than all.
Next is first, I'm sorry, we got 25. First technical approach to meet schedule cost effectiveness.
So I have, 17, let's go 17. I have noted that their willingness to mobilize the crews within 24 hours shows that they're able to keep the county's recommendations and react to any type of debris occurrence or prioritization.
Yeah, I scored him a 13. If you demonstrate a good understanding what's part of them as the applied strategy, the schedule for the best.
I also thought they had good understanding of the scope. Didn't really see any project improvements or innovations, so I gave it a 16.
I scored them very similarly. I also gave it a 16. Again, thought they had a good understanding of the project scope, but didn't see any innovation.
I gave them 15. I did not see specific example to try to do all again, I think it's cost effective, even if it was vague. So I don't.
So we have a 17, 13, 2 16s, and 15. So 13 to 16 seems to be the range. Yeah.
Okay. That up to what, 660? Yes.
I mean, that's all I need.
That's why you're fixing it.
I think they should.
Okay, well, because that's the highest the second.
Yeah.
I don't think they were there. I didn't.
She doesn't think so.
Even if it was a vague. Okay, so that's right, Dave. Okay, and that's my reading. I did not see like in other proposed specific examples, and not even a vague demonstration or a dollar cost effective. About 14. That's, but I think I would reserve the highest.
Southern disaster recovery, qualification return, 29. 82 firms experience project center side, 25. And 83 for technical first to be scheduled, 15. Next is police environment. Is Robert having his office?
Yes, sir. Okay, all right. So we are doing qualifications and affirm as professional personnel. Our administrative ability to handle multiple cases in response to disasters. They mentioned having over 3,000 contract order. Various disaster management over more than 30 years of outstanding experience in public services requirements. Also, extensive experience at all levels of organizations, starting out language. Why? I beat the score of 30.
I thought they were exceptional, level of experience. Their team is very uniquely qualified, my experience in Hillsborough County. I like the fact that they're, have an office very close to Casco County. So I gave them a score of 34.
Yeah, I also got the, it was strong, on qualifications and experience, a lot of it was for county, I also did the local office here. In Pasco, and they've been talking to their large employer with it, so I rated it 35 also.
I can't add any of that. The only thing that got is in their org chart. Don't know if the positions are filled or they're not specified. I think that was a question because they have, like, if he unspecified name and then another position, right? Description or job title. So I gave them a. So I did, you know what I mean? I was trying to avoid something that. But I have that for 30.
I had them scored at 33 for their strong organizational capacity with multiple disaster projects taking place at the same time. And showing that they're extensive inventory of equipment and rapid deployment capabilities.
Okay, so we have a 30, a 34, 35, a 30, and a 30.
I was all.
And then 29 to 35 is the project team. We have 29 to 35 is the highest level. 2 30s, 33, and 34, and 35.
And 34.
Like I said, mine is more of a. So team.
All about what they provide in the proposal.
Yeah, and I still write down the question mark. Was it easy? Yeah.
Yeah, what's your thought?
I would go with 33, what I had before.
Very
That'd be our
comfortable.
recommendation.
Thirty-three for Phillips, criteria one.
Next is first experience with properties of similar size and type. I thought they had superior experience with projects of similar size and type. They've been a service provider for, that's 10 years and done an excellent job. So because of that, I'm giving them a vote.
I also scored them as a 30, because of their extensive experience.
I echo that, I have a memo for 29, but I echo my colleagues.
I give them a 30 for the same reasons.
I also awarded 30 as well. They provided, cover projects. That's 5 years, aligned with our scope. And they also provide service and other municipalities, the same scope event. We see the same type of response to both organizations.
So we have 4 30s and 29.
I can go with my colleague.
Thirty.
Next is current technical approach to meet schedule and cost effectiveness.
Okay, I scored them as a 17. Good technical approach. I do think it relied a little heavy on the history of county performance and didn't offer a lot extra in terms of innovation. But I thought it was 17.
I have an 18 for the same reasons I didn't see specific, and I agree with you, Joshua, as well. I think it relies on our experience with that versus the response. And I didn't see anything specific, and again, so I have that one.
I have them down as 18, for the reason of just showing the county experiences. And their ability to reposition equipment and work with the local contractors, various counties.
I gave it 16. I included all the comments that were made. How they had a thorough understanding of the approach, provided a work out the strategy and schedule.
I got an 18, and I thought they showed superior understanding of the project, where they could this cost effective. So we have 17, 3 18s, and 16.
Okay, one up. 16.
Okay, so 18 minutes.
18.
Are you good with that?
Yep.
A1, we have 33 for Phillips. A2, 30. And then A3 is 18 for technical approach to the schedule.
Agreed. You guys are making fantastic time. We're like halfway through right now.
Yay.
We want to take a quick 5-minute break. 1:49, so I'll say 1:55 to restart.
Sure. And we'll start with version 1.
Does that mean on it?
Right? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we will resume the evaluation committee meeting for 25-00221. Next up should be Bergeron emergency.
Yes, number A1, the qualifications of firm as professional personnel.
Okay, I gave Bergeron a 24 in that dimension, primarily because they provided only two detailed resumes for qualified personnel. In addition, I found their project manager listed in criteria 3. That I believe they're showing as we wasn't that the VP of operations, it wasn't in the response to part 1. So I gave them a 24.
I scored them at a 28. I see that they have over a 30 years of experience across, or the core personnel have about 30 years of experience, very best career in coordination with the FEMA PA.
Yeah.
I school in 22. They have 30 years experience. Based in Florida. And fifth, they do appear to be capable of services. Project team with experience. Commission firm has no history of lawsuits. Safety record. Scope 22.
I also gave them a 22. They had good experience with the research team, had good experience with similar projects. The project team really couldn't find an organizational chart. But it said that some of the section 3 that says their VP of operations would be part of the project management team, but I don't see a lot of VP of operations being day-to-day hands-on. So I gave them a 22.
I gave them 25, same kind of thing. They included resumes, but they didn't include work structure. And things like that.
I think we're all in that 22, 20. Fine with them. 24.
So we had 24, 28, 22, and 25.
It's on, we think along with that. Range.
Yeah, we're kind of in 25.
Yeah.
All our 13 ones, but I think
Number.
that's too high, you know.
Okay, 25.
Perfect. Yeah.
25.
For Bergeron,
The first experience is probably for similar size. And so with the other.
I gave him a 25 based on the projects that they submitted regarding size and scope for Hillsborough County.
I gave them a 22. They provide pretty similar projects. Years similar to the scope. 22.
I gave them a 25. I thought they had good experience. They listed 2 FDOT jobs, which are similar size. However, I don't think the scope was very similar. Again, well, I can agree on the DOT highway was very different than a right away neighborhoods back down. So I gave them a 25.
I gave them 28. I thought they were good development experience. That was out for.
For criteria 2, I have down for 26. Then citing the contract dollar amount. Well, it's state level experience. So I have down for 20.
They have a 25, a 22, 25, 28, and 26.
I think I can, could come down and get 48, but information good points about the.
You're the only one in the next.
Yeah, we, I think, pull up one. Pull out here, yeah. I mean,
Okay?
I can read that.
Sounds good.
Okay, so 25 for A2 from the project. A3 is from technical approach to meet schedule and cost effective.
Okay, awesome. How about from administrating? Pretty good understanding. Approach, strategy and schedule. Address various phases.
I thought that they showed an adequate understanding. I didn't really see what they had talked about coordinating prior to the storm, meeting the project team. So, and didn't really go into detail a lot about the project approach, so I gave it 15.
I scored them similarly. I had a 16. I thought they had good examples of their performance, about for track record, email reimbursement, but I also didn't see it really cover much specifics for the approach here, so.
And I gave him a 15, again, because I didn't even see if they read out the cost effectiveness and saw those specifics. So I gave him
I get them in 16 as well, but the cost of it.
So we have 13, 2 15s, and 2 16s.
I'm gonna go up. 13.
Yeah, they're all in the same, yeah. So, yeah, we're in it.
Yeah.
I'm good with 15.
I can agree. 15.
So for virtual one, we have A1 qualification of firm, 25. A2 firm's experience of project of similar size and type, 25. A3 firm technical approach to meet schedule, cost effectiveness, 50. Now we'll move to crowd control. Project team has an exceptional level of experience. Several are newly qualified. The project manager is also qualified and has experience with Hillsborough County. So I gave them a 32.
I rated them at a 35. I thought their resume, org structure, all look good, they had exceptional levels of experience and qualifications.
I gave them a 30 and consistency. That was my top score of all of them. And so again, I'm just saying that for demonstrate that I think they're the top.
I scored them a 33, for their work with, FEMA and their Army Corps of Engineers and, showing examples for working with, activations and evaluating and various writings.
I give it 30. Part of present. They had exceptional experience. I found that new experience was really good all over the organization. The past, what I did, I gave it a slow 30.
So we got a 32, a 35, 30, a 33, and a 35. I think we all agree in the 29 to 35 at least.
And I'm gonna be overrun.
33.
Yeah, I'm thinking 32, 33 range. But
I'm agreeable.
Yeah.
We'll give you 34, 33.
33?
33.
Yeah, I think 33.
33 for crowd control.
And so we have a continued first expansion project of similar size and type. Start with Josh.
Okay,
I thought they had, good examples. Covered all.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was in that place. But I did look like they were kind of they were a similar scale. There was one that they provided in for the Panama City. Gave them a 28 overall. I thought there was a good example of similar scale.
I gave them a 28 for the same reasons, similar scale, similar, all states. But only one people.
I also give them a score of 28 due to their examples of large scale operation similar to the Hillsborough County.
Three, well, they are by the projects. Here's. You know, they call this, say that, still on power. So they just show their ability to press forward ability. Long conditions,
I thought we had superior past and recent experiences, projects of similar size and scope. I like that they presented a number of cubic yards and also the number of EMS site manage. I thought that was good information to know, so I gave them 29. We had 32, no, I'm sorry, 20, 28, 29, 30.
I'm very flexible, as long as they're in the top. Yeah, 20 to 30, but pretty hard. Or it's,
Yeah.
I support.
Yeah, I think 29 is about. Yeah, I will lose a couple of.
Good stuff.
Next is from the second first stream schedule and cost effective.
This one is mine, and I appreciate that because Crowder County, in my opinion, it's very understanding approach to those federal cost effective measures with potential improvement. So they not only demonstrated that understanding to very high level, I give them a 92 level. They also cited that they would do certain teamwork with the program at no cost. Which in my estimation, they were putting the efficient management and project delivery or above cost. And in addition, they specifically point out 3D drone technology to augment document push operations, which we realized that documentation is pretty critical in some part. The fact that they stated specifics as well as provided for each numbers at no cost. I did that.
I scored them an 18 with their potential disaster, great experience across their project management team, and having former FEMA and US Army Corps of Engineer employees on their team is key to their success.
I gave them a 17. Well documented approach. I like the fact that team needs to be very strong in communication. That would be stressful to be volume set.
I gave them an 18. I did think they had a superior understanding of the project and the county needs. I did like the fact that they mentioned the drones and as innovation, so I just give it. I'm sorry, 17.
For me, this is the only firm that I gave a full 20 points to on this section. I thought their proposal had an impressive section. For courage, coordination, and all the things that got mentioned for the drone, but you know, they had really focused on the preparation, pre-planning. Yeah, I have the full 20.
And then 18 to 17 and 19. I think we're around 18 or. What do you guys think?
I would push for 19. This to me, I agree with Josh. This we kind of, we like want to remake that. We covered the most. We had most benefits in the response, so I think other than this, I do agree with you that out of all the proposals, that was probably the most. But I would push for it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for Cardinal, we have A1 is qualification of firm with professional personnel, 33, A2 firm's experience with project of similar size and type, 29, and firm's technical approach, A3 is 19. Next is looks great of MS Inc. It's great service.
All right, that would be me. I scored in a 28. That's their, firm presented, key personnel, resumes, with strong credentials. And, projects listed show a diverse and capable, and meet the, criteria for this one. So, going down.
I gave the firm a 22. The firm has 2 decades of experience. Demonstrated, capable of building services aligned to proposal. We have about 70 contracts executed by very confidence and understanding. And the firm also recognized the critical need to versus human regulations. I gave them a 22.
I gave him a 26. Project team is above average. The PM is, qualifications are above average. Not that compared to others, so I gave him 26.
I scored a 28, again, kind of in that second highest tier on the evaluation criteria. They had adequate levels of experience and qualifications are not quite at the level, or unique qualifications as some of the other.
I have it down for 28 as well. And my notes I have, they invite 2 project managers that I personally consider above average level of experience. And the fact they identified 2 specific PMs, positive for myself.
We have 3 28, 26, and a 22.
That was,
What is that? Is that consensus? What is that?
27 public street services.
Yes. And then the firm's experience with projects of similar size and type.
Gave them 22. I think we can provide 3 similar projects. We did 5 years. Gave them a 22.
I gave them a 27 because they did have some primary the prime on some projects of similar size. Scope to Hillsborough County. And although this one is a little different, but the brief size and the cost of the contract value is substantial. So I gave them the 27.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. The size, and scope seems, they provided seem to be similar in terms of the, regard to degree and cost. So I thought they were good examples, albeit in other shades. But I gave them 28 as well.
I have it down for 26. Actually, because I was just reading back to my notes. The hurricane relief was listed twice in Hillsborough County report. And if you look at $2 per $1 month, provided, I acknowledge that I'm clearing this thing to keep personnel. So it didn't really take over two separate. In my head. But I give them a 26 nonetheless. I think that we're on the same group. They got more than, they're technically successful, recent. But I just do have a question mark on there. Virginia, they're both sort of responsible for mostly the same personnel. So in my head, I wasn't completely convinced that those were two separate responses. Sure, I understand. I just, for the group, I was just waiting. I haven't done for one.
I have a 27 as well. What might be the scope for the county providing their examples.
Are you ready for 22, 27, 28, 26, and 27? What we have?
They're all in that second.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with whatever number we have to look like.
22, 27, 28, 26, and 22. Then the 27.
Yeah, those stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
27. Next is from technical approach to meet schedule cost effectiveness. I thought that they didn't really show adequate understanding, or they didn't really show a lot of details behind that. They did mention some GPS and whatnot, that's fairly standard in the room management, so I gave them that 60.
And I scored them at a 17. It was a good understanding. I think it did the average understanding. So they give both, maybe it back and does along with that. Good down. So, but that was where my initial score was.
I actually have them to 17 as well, and I have them down that they acknowledge the technology and the cost effectiveness requirements. They did mention the use of the camera on their data, which I disagree with Jen, that's pretty industry standard. That like the specifics again, those are my own consistency. I gave some.
I give them a 60 for similar reasons provided.
Gave them a 13. Their response seems to be right. It touched on 20 points, but nice details.
So I've got 2 16s, 2 17s, and a 13. Criteria 3. And criteria 3 is, do you think they belong in the higher tier or the lower tier? The 16 would be the highest of the second tier. 17 would be the lowest in the third. So, again, 2 17s, 2 16s, and a 13. Yeah, I don't have to get down.
Josh and I were the 17, so.
I am.
Yeah.
Final 60.
I think that's. It's 16.
Next is TFR Enterprises. Again, start A1 qualifications of firm is professional personnel. I'll start with Josh.
Would you like to quickly confirm it's for so?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Purpose specific. A1 looks great. Is A1 is 27. A2 firms experience with project of similar size and type, 27. And then firms technical approach to meet schedule and cost effectiveness, 16. Again, TFR Enterprises. Josh will do this one.
Okay, I thought the project team personnel here had acceptable level of experience. I gave them a 31.
I agree. I gave them a 20. Especially, they do have 3 project managers. sponsored one, it's specific. It gave them 20.
I gave them a sort of 33, due to their multiple team members, are uniquely qualified for their roles. And, team structure is well defined.
I gave them a 22. Mark has various 30 years in that disaster recovery experience. Process.
I scored them to 26. I did think they had good, for the project team, had good qualifications. Didn't think their team was uniquely qualified. In fact, I had to guess that this each one was a team they both were, so. So we have a 30, a 29, a 33, a 22, and a 26. So we think that they're going to go on, begin to do
20, 29.
230s, and then a 30, a 33, and 21, 22, 26.
Then I get.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I would go down to
I
a
can
29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, it's, because Kim. There's 3 project managers listed there. Today, it's like, which one? Or we want to score that one, or the qualification. So I actually think.
That's basically 29. 29.
Or TFR.
Yes, TFR enterprises, A2 firms experience a project of similar size and type.
Hey, so I have, they list Magnolia and for activity. So most likely type projects, again, it's going to come out of the necessarily writing. For diversity, but I do specifically know that I did appreciate. What we did have for it, is the quantity and description of the brief. Yeah, very, to me, it's close to the overall, if they understand. I need to scope and what it was about. So I actually gave them.
I scored them a 27, for private, relevant projects, FDOT, the ice storm and hurricane team developed for the place and other projects for those 20.
I gave them a 22. The size projects, some of the, I think that particular, simplicity to our absolutely defined. In life projects, projects, yeah, how they will handle as the trees, how they will protect certain areas. Equals that county provides the property because that I gave it.
I gave them the 25. I thought the project was with DOT and the ice storm. Somewhere that not uniquely qualified for Hillsborough County, just again because DOT right away is very different than right away residential county. So I gave them.
I also scored them at the 45. I thought, the one larger, similar size project that they mentioned, FDOT after Adalia was good, but my notes were that so the other project that they listed were smaller in terms of the amount of 45.
Got 2 25s, a 22, a 27, and a 28.
I think I'm an outlier.
The 22.
I know I do it 28. So I'm more than happy to. Here's my comment. Probably making the fun agree. The description might have swayed my point value, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, no, I can go to the second tier, 26, 25, like 25.
25, so we have 2 25s, a 22, 27, 20. 25.
25.
We have consensus at 25. And then the A3 firms, technical approach to be scheduled, cost effectiveness. That's about it.
Uh, I give them a 17. With their, indicates their ability to activate well within 40 to 70, 72 hours. And their personnel assigned with their built teams and multiple units. And their ability to reach out to their network of contractors as well.
I gave them a 13. Maybe it's trading at the approach. That if he does details, overall, I gave them a 13.
I gave them a 16, thought they had adequate understanding of the scope. I didn't think they spoke enough to preparation for EMS sites or any thing that or coordination with the county for first push. I didn't see any potential improvements or cost effectiveness, so I gave them a 16.
I also scored far out of 16. They did talk a little bit, they mentioned, I think, a proactive approach. You know.
Criteria 3, I have the 16. Didn't see anything get addressed or acknowledged. For the title, and then I thought that the description was somewhat vague. They did identify one specific, the GIS, I'm sorry, GPS directly, maybe it's the, or I think that's not a. So I gave this.
We got 16, 17, and 13. That's it.
It is.
You okay with that?
16.
Okay, just to review, TFR Enterprises, A1 qualification firm, professional personnel, 29. A2 firms experience with project of similar size and type, 25. A3 firms technical approach to meet schedule and cost effectiveness, 16. Next is office space.
I'm sorry.
You're going to talk to the qualification of first professional.
Okay. Okay. Rate this scored in the skin. The firm has 7 years of experience. The project team lacks some kind of disciplinary management. I scored.
I scored them a 15. I thought they had adequate experience. Didn't identify the PM, didn't show the qualifications that we need to qualify PM. So I could
Scored them out of 7.
I'm sorry. I said,
For office space,
Office space. Well, the first criteria, right?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Or out of 7?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe I was a little harsh, but that's what I had. So, I mean, I guess one of the resumes mentioned Marine and Hilton, but I didn't see any project description of this, so I don't know what that actually consisted of. The other key personnel didn't seem like they had necessarily relevant experience in like or. Which one are you doing? Office space.
I know the criteria A1.
A1, the qualification.
Yeah. I know what I think with that.
I just wanted to the other side. We can discuss.
I have them for 18, but I do have it in my notes, that's why I was trying to find it for. That there is possible project manager identified in the resume. It's in the chat. So it wasn't in the first half. You could look for it, but I still think that they have adequate level of experience. It just not identified in anybody else.
I scored them a 13. Due to the broad service capabilities that was listed.
We have a 10, a 15, 7, 18, and a 13.
Pretty consistent in the middle,
Yeah.
but that I found should have. Right about.
There's like 10, it should be,
So that this
yeah,
here,
and 8 and 14 here, yeah,
road,
yeah.
outliers.
Yeah,
And I'm supportive of our report, what we looking at 14.
what do you think about promotion? We have a 15, and an 18, and a 13.
But that's fine, 13.
No, it's 7. You say 13 then? 13? So we have 13 for office space. The firm's experience with project of similar size and type. Going to the movie and finding the contractors. Okay. So I have them 14. I thought the minor projects, low volume of debris listed for these, and I could tell that they're not the prime on most of these projects. So I need to be 14, which I think is probably higher than 14.
Well, I don't know what I was doing, because I came in low on the first one, I think I would be coming in high on this one. I rated them at 20, but I did have several comments. You know, their projects were much smaller in size, and it looked like they were sub rather than prime. So. So I'm done, yeah, 20 was where
I have them down for 12, and the 2 hurricanes, you know, and what tropical storm. There's pretty down, but again, it looks like they function as the sub, as one of many subs. And it isn't anything near our projected contract values or quantities. So I have them down for 12, that they have minor successful experience with projects.
I have them down as 18 for similar things discussed before. I did primarily as so I still have that experience with the
I gave it as far as 8. By some of the types, but they were small, smaller projects.
We have a 14, a 20, a 12, an 18, and an 8.
So that's all.
The 8, so I think we're doing 8 to 14. Prime firm has minor successful terms of projects of similar size. Prime's firm approach method of proposal by the level of service part of the project. But the service price for represented projects vary. We got 12, we have 12, and 8, a 14, a 20, and an 18. That's you. Two that are low.
I'm looking at 8, 13, 14.
I think 13. 13. So we have 13, everyone's in 50. This current technical approach to the schedule and cost effectiveness.
Okay, I really didn't see a lot here. waiting on their technical approach. Dustin Point within 28 to 48 hours. Question for it, see that demonstrates the next to, I ended up scoring it well.
Okay, sorry about that. Trying to retrace my steps here. I have these, few specifics. You guys are for living at the cast on the insurance factor, which I mean, it's further, but and then my capital. I need to be very flexible. I have this book.
I have them as, thirds. With, some of the data showed minor enhancements such as, mapping strategies. Similar, things I've discussed before.
If you fail to show the big grasp mistake, so this is. But it's also.
I also gave them an 8. I thought I didn't speak, fully understand the scope. I didn't speak to first push, coordinating with county communities home, coordinating, pre, permitting or pre-identifying DNS sites or working with them. That started. They have 2 8s, a 13, a 14, and a 12. So 8 would be the higher level of the 2. Lower level. Higher level of the both. Measure. 13, a 12, and a 14. So maybe 12.
Seems like a decent compromise.
But I was an 8, and it's better than 14, 13, that I
Persuaded on that one.
That's
all. I have the whole thing.
So to recap, Office Space Inc. A1, qualifications are firm and its professional personnel. 13. Firm's experience with project of similar size and type. 13. Firm's technical approach to meet schedule and cost effectiveness. A3 is 12. Okay, last one, CTC disaster response.
I have evaluation criteria number 1, qualifications for maintenance personnel. After reading through this, I had a difficult time with identifying the evaluation criteria for one's response. I think, it's 30 to 79. Found that. However, I still would characterize them. Some private team personnel have added the following qualifications. I gave it.
I have them listed, under the word, higher. As a 22, with RFP personnel, provided, additional training documentation for female, working with Army Corps of Engineers. And, over 26 years of experience.
I gave it a score of 5. Oh, that you do not change it. Oh.
Yeah. Absentee.
Okay, project team contain all the critical disciplines that are needed
magnitude. I think that, all the, like, resources appear, services.
I gave them a 14,
You said,
I gave it 14. They really didn't identify their primary point of contact, only listed the CFO, the CAO, and the regional manager. No work chart was provided. I just didn't have a lot to provide them, give them. So that was their experience. So
Okay, I scored it as a 20, but you know, I think that's probably generous to come down. I would say comments is that it was really vague description, qualification, justification. Wasn't a lot of different visuals, there wasn't a work chart, so that was.
we have a 10, a 22, a 5, a 14, and a 20. So you think, okay, there was a big gap.
I think I will go up. Not to, let's say, adequate. Project team on that, or you know, only side of personnel, and not even more software.
Well,
Three, 14.
I think speaking more to it though is difficult to discern.
Yeah.
Because of the organization and the way it presented it. So that's why I'm saying stop. Because I'm not confident I want to go. I assume they're putting forth the criteria. So that was my logic and reasoning for it. Is I'm having to assume it is clearly identified. Yeah. So that's where I guess I'm to the 25 from.
Who was 22? Yep, Robert.
That was, I think that was.
Yeah.
So we have a 22 and a 20, kind of 5, 10 and a 14. So let's, I guess, figure out, do we think they're between 8 and 14 or between 15 and 21?
I think having the discussion now, I would be fine.
And I can go up. I think they belong in that criteria level.
Yeah.
Again, just because of having to identify it and then making assumptions.
Mhm.
So assuming that risk on our part, I don't think I would get higher than that category. I think, I'm assuming that the personnel I think I identify. There's explicit comments that they have in my experience and such, but I don't see where it's clearly identified that those are the people who get assigned for this path. You know what I mean? So I think that's my logic. I think they don't want to be.
You have 220, we have 22, 20, and 14, 10 and 5. So we have 14, we have 4 and 14.
You know, I gave him a 5.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I might think committee, or we can get our space 13.
Well, we know they have more students again.
So that's why
We're probably, with the office space, it's the office space, we need a private,
it's more clearly identified. So I would say 12. That's what here doesn't say right now. That's cool. The mistake of it.
So 13, 12, 14.
I can go up to 12.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
I can go up to 12.
I'm okay with that.
Well, it is. Next is firms who experience projects of similar size and type.
It's,
Um, I scored them a 21. Strang's working with the DOT, various municipalities, in the counties and federal entities.
They confirmed the 14. They provide some projects.
I gave them 21. I thought they had some experience. They didn't list, they didn't respond prior to the contractor. Now, correct me. Didn't have that shot. They didn't list key personnel, experience on with the projects. They didn't also show the length of the project or how long it took to complete the project. So,
I also gave them a 21. I thought they were in that category adequate. Experience, their size of their projects appeared to be smaller. Most of what they listed, the projects within Florida, looked like it was like city and local school districts. So, okay, 21.
Okay, I think I'm gonna round this out with the lowest score out of 10. I found in my notes the scope and the size of the projects that were multiple lists. They didn't follow any charge.
Yeah, they provided way too many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me having to sort through them and try and find something that was applicable. I could not find the scope or size of project that was similar. It's like way that the proposal was laid out, it followed the instruction, and I had to sort through this and try and select again. I stated on their personnel, make assumptions. Those were the most applicable. So I gave them a 10.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm flexible for the group again, but I didn't provide some input on where I arrived at a 10. I think they've had minor successful experience with projects. And not even at a single type of type of 10. There's that created here. But that's where I'm flexible, but I just did provide where I got that. I wasn't comfortable again making assumptions. So I have clarity in this proposal.
I did like the details about the event. I think I equated the hurricane and the value of the contract to be a significant. Right. In 14.
Yeah, it's like.
we have 21, 14, 21, 10, 14.
As long as they're in that
Yeah.
group, I think that is enough for me to represent the client with the response provided. So as long as we're able to represents my.
So 9 to 12, the submittal showed adequate schedule of work, understanding of cost effectiveness, understanding of scope.
They go beyond evaluation criteria too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay. So we think they should be 15 to 21?
You know, I thought we were talking about the
8 to 14. Okay.
When I hired 14.
Yeah. I think I had 21 and then, yeah, discussion. I guess I made a
This is also like 21, but I think
So you
they
were
similar to
high.
Kim. I think it really made me go along with that next year now.
And really, I think, because I made a lot of assumptions that they would come.
Well, that's my concern.
And I don't really know.
So,
It was difficult. My same thing with the personnel. I'm concerned that I make assumptions about their path. I'm going to try to take it. In the 20 criteria, I don't think I should have to do. So at 14 the max, but Yes, I.
I'm okay going down for 14.
Yes.
But since this is 14 for A2, firms experience with private and no side. A3 is firm's technical approach to the schedule and cost. Yeah.
You become a 13. Help the firm. We have to understand the approach, strategy, and schedule.
I gave them a 12. I thought it showed adequate or good understanding of the approach. Didn't really see much cost effective measures or any other project schedule that really understood that they demonstrated they understood schedule services.
Okay, I gave them a 15. I thought it showed a good understanding of scope and schedule, not superior though. They did emphasize their vision. Yeah, I thought it was good understanding, not superior. So I thought it was.
And I assigned that point value as a 14 year, just out of consistency. That was really big. So nothing specific. But yeah, the other proposals that did. Yeah, it's for every technology or what have you. Nothing. So I gave them a 14.
I also gave them a 14 as well. I tried to show, make sure there's comprehensive logistic plan, their deployment schedule, and the utilization of in-house resources.
Yeah, 2 14s, a 12, a 13, and a 15. I think that puts us at more than 13 to the 16. I have a 12, so I think 13. Okay,
The next one below what I figured out.
13, can you finish? We did. That's a 13. A3, just to recap, CTC disaster response. A1, qualifications firm and its professional personnel. 12, A2, firm's experience with projects of similar size and type. 14, A3, firm's technical approach to the schedule and cost effectiveness. 13.
Okay, that completes the committee scoring. I'm going to go back over the scores and then announce the scores for criteria 4, the total cost total, as well as the DM-EWD bonus points, and then we'll go through the final ranking. We'll start at the top. CP Dana Construction. We had them at 8 for criteria 1, 0 for criteria 2, 5 for criteria 3, for a committee score of 13. They also awarded 15 points for the quote/cost total and 0 for DM/DWD bonus points for a total score of 28. Series Environmental Services, 32 for criteria 1, 29 for criteria 2, 18 for criteria 3, for a total committee score of 79. They also awarded 8.72 points for the quote/cost total, criteria 4, and 5 points for DM/DWDE for the bonus points, for a total score of 92.72. DRC Emergency Services received 29 for criteria 1, 28 for criteria 2, 18 for criteria 3, for a total committee score of 7. They also received 9.49 points for criteria 4 and 5 points for DM/WD bonus points, for a total score of 89.49. Firm number 4, Ashford, received 34 for criteria 1, 30 for criteria 2, 19 for criteria 3, for a total score of 83. They also received 6.33 points for the quote/cost total, criteria 4, and 5 points for DM/DWD bonus points, The overall total score of 94.33. Southern disaster recovery received 29 points for criteria 1, 25 points for criteria 2, 15 points for criteria 3. The committee total score of 69. They also received 8.69 points for criteria 4 and 0 for DM/DWP bonus points, for a total score of 77.61. Phillips Environmental LLC, 33 for criteria 1, 30 for criteria 2, 18 for criteria 3, the total committee score of 81. They also received 7.13 for criteria 4, 5 points for DWP bonus points, for 93.13 total score. I have a line of it. Virgin Auto Emergency Services received 25 for criteria 1, 25 for criteria 2, and 15 for criteria 3, for a committee score of 65. They also received 8.03 points for criteria 4, and then 0 for DM/DWP bonus points, for a total score of 73.03. Gold joint venture Inc. received 33 for criteria 1, 29 for criteria 2, and 19 for criteria 3, for a total committee score of 81. They also received 8.59 for quote/cost total criteria 4, and 5 points for DM/DWP bonus points, for a total score of 94.59. Books Grading Services MS Inc. received 27 for criteria 1, 27 for criteria 2, and 16 for criteria 3, for a total committee score of 70. They received 8.40 for the quote/cost total criteria 4, and 0 points for DM/DWP, for a total score of 78.40. EFR Enterprises Inc. received 29 criteria 1, 25 for criteria 2, 16 for criteria 3. Committee total score of 70. They also received 9.90 for quote/cost total and 0 for DM/DWP, for a total score of 79.90. Office Space Inc. received 13 for criteria 1, 13 for criteria 2, 12 for criteria 4, 3, for a committee score of 38. They also received 6.97 for quote/cost total criteria 4, and 5 points for DM/DWP bonus points, for a total score of 49.97. And CT Disaster Response Inc. received 12 points for criteria 1, 14 points for criteria 2, 13 points for criteria 3, for a total committee score of 39. Also received 12.18 for quote/cost total criteria 4, and 0 points for DM/DWP bonus points, for a total score of 51.18. So, in order, ranked 1 through 12. Crowder Golf Joint Venture Inc. ranked number 1 at 94.59. Ashford Inc. ranked number 2 at 94.33. Phillips Environmental LLC ranked 3rd at 93.13. Series Environmental Services Inc. ranked 4th at 92.72. ERC Emergency Services LLC ranked 5th at 89.49. EFR Enterprises Inc. ranked 6th at 79.90. Looks Great Services of MS Inc. ranked 7th at 78.40. Southern Disaster Recovery ranked 8th at 77.69. Bridger Emergency Services Inc. ranked 9th at 73.03. CTC Disaster Response ranked 10th at 51.18. Office Space Inc. ranked 11th at 49.97. And CP Daniel Construction Inc. ranked 12th at 28. Everybody agrees with that? Okay. So committee members, if you would please submit some notes to Kim that you place your rankings on at today's meeting. Kim, I'm going to send you discuss here today. If you're watching online or here in person, please remember to monitor procurement, formerly called bonfire. They actually changed this to procurement here. So remember that's the change. For future updates related to solicitation, reminder that the code of silence is still in effect needed for all communication. There's nothing else. That will conclude evaluation committee for RFP-25-00221, disaster debris management services. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, please.